microphone close up. Let me see. I'll probably be live in a couple seconds. Don't mind me. For the first couple minutes of the stream, I'm just going to try and update the Git for the last stream so I can actually move on and do the next stream. Yeah, I'm just having some Git problems, as is expected. So, let me see. Okay, well, no one's quite in chat yet, so I feel like I can just... Well, let me check. Maybe someone isn't checking. I'm just not talking. Yep, 0 people. Okay, so I'm fine there. So maybe one of you guys can help me out with here. Well, as soon as someone comes on. I'm actually trying to update a Git file with a comment. Problem is, it's for some reason. Let me see. Yeah, I'm trying to take the last stream's content and push it to the actual Git page. If I can pull it up, there it is. So it's this guy over here. So presumably, I can get this done. Well, I have to get this done before I move on, otherwise I won't have a record of what's going on. Okay. So let me, for safety's sake, let me just copy this whole thing. Well, let me clean first. There we go. Copy this whole thing and use it to find a backup. Let me see if I can just pull. Can I pull what, master? Origin. I somehow screwed this up. Let me see if there's an actual structure to this thing. Master. So I should be able to pull the master, right? Get pull master. Git repository. Git checkout master. Git pull. Oh boy. Here we are. Let's see how this actually looks like on my GitHub page. I still have the 4 old comments. And here's my backup files. Let me be sure to overwrite what's actually in this folder here before I move on. Okay. So let me try going back and see, commit? No. Push origin master. There we go. Ah, still rejected. What's going on? Okay, let me pull this up a little bit further so I can actually see what's going on. Great. Or maybe I can request some help on Twitch, or Discord while I'm here. Because I don't want to lose the previous work I've done in terms of having a record of it. I want to be able to attach this. Actually, what I need to do, really, is release or the video for the I don't think I've done that yet. The video for my last stream on the YouTube channel still hasn't been released yet. So let me do that, and hopefully someone comes into chat and saves me from my own ignorance of how Git works. Okay, this song is almost getting on my nerves, but not quite. And I'm assuming this is from PSU. Let me just check. It's PS. Oh, that's why I don't completely hate it. Okay, that's just weird. Neat. Okay, so let me just go ahead and make the last stream public. Alright, so on the YouTube page, it should be down in the description. You'll be able to see the last stream. Unfortunately, I can't comment this stuff quite yet. I don't know what's going on here. I want to figure this out, though, because I don't want to move on and lose progress. So, let me see. First... Oh, the release! I didn't... Okay, so let me compile... Alright. Now I need to move the queue, the ISO, and the bin over into release for overwrite. I mean, that's not the problem, but I forgot to do that. So, I'm going to do that anyway. Then I can clean again. Then the release should still be up to date. There we go. Okay, so maybe I just need to do a hard reset. So let me, doesn't feel like a proper clean one. Okay, there we go. Let me put my backup in manually. Okay. Then how do we do a hard reset? And get so it go back to master branch. Yeah. Sorry, guys. So, the problem right now, before I can even get started, is I gotta comment my stuff to the actual stuff, so you guys have access to it. So the first thing I'm going to do in stream before I actually get going, really, is just getting things back in order on my GitHub, which is over here, and I can link it over in chat. Well, I got an offer for help in Discord, so I'm gonna take it. I'll tell you guys. I'll walk you guys through it as I go through. Let me just. Where's my snipping tool? There we are. Whoops. Everything looks weird now. Why does everything look weird? Why is it in half window snip? Okay. Try that again. There we go. Okay, so I can try to figure this out. So what I can do is I can just do a hard freaking reset and just wipe out all recent changes. Okay, let's try that. I'm gonna do git fetch. I don't even know what git fetch does. Let's look up what git fetch does. Okay, git status. Oh, I got a bunch of untracked files. But I thought... That's unfortunate. Let me try git fetch all. Okay, fetching origin. That's a good sign. Now let's try git status. Still got untracked files, which I assume are the things that are there right now. My branch. Oh, okay. That helps too. So, I'm assuming you're going to show up as Eric. For everyone else in stream, Eric from the Saturn Dev Discord is going to help me out with my weird Git problem. If not, I'm just going to have to save the previous copy as backup. Okay. Yeah, if I can't figure this out in a way that isn't like... yeah. I might end up, if this isn't a quick fix, if I end up having to do a bunch of, you know, jiggery or pokery, I might end up shoving the files to a separate folder as backup and forcing comment later down the line when I have time to fix it. But yeah. Stuff in my GitHub that's not in my local copy. The thing with that is, it doesn't make any sense. So if we go over to my GitHub, I have... Well, I didn't... Stream 4 doesn't exist because that was a separate code base. That was Ponut and XL2's code, so I didn't want to put it... That was like entirely theirs. None of it was mine. So 1, 2, 3, and 5 are the previous versions of Seniriu that I've uploaded. And then 6 is the stuff that is here right now. And 6 is what I try to upload using git all. My first problem is, for some reason, these guys weren't even added or tracked or anything like that. And I thought I took care of that with git add star. Let me see if... Okay. See, I did that the first time and it didn't do it. Okay. All conflicts fixed, but you are still merging. Use git commit to conclude the merge. Okay. Let's see if that'll do. Come on. Freaking mouse click did something weird. Okay, git commit with 1T. Oh! Did I just break something? Oh, waiting for the editor to close your... Oh! I think I should probably close that. Okay, now I can try pushing origin. Okay, well, let me try the log. So this comment right here, I believe, yeah, that's today. So this is 006. That's what I want to be uploaded. Okay. I cannot even remotely come close to pronouncing your username on Twitch. I'm just going to call you Eric. Sorry. Okay, yeah. So I figure this is as close as I'm going to get to doing... Yeah, I can try pushing now. So, first, let me... Ah, that's weird. Okay, there we go. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Jeez. Where's the part where I can actually type? End? Okay, maybe I need to close out of this. Oh, wait, stuff is running in the background. That's weird. Q. Alright. So let's there should be a git push origin master. Neat. Okay. Let's go back to the git log. I want to see if I can't tag this guy as 0. Oh, what is that? Get tag 0.0.006. Oh yeah. You know what? I'll do the tag later. Here's what I'll do. For now, right now what's on the GitHub is current. So if you guys want to follow along, you can pull that or check out or whatever the term is. I'm not good at this. But thanks to Eric or Halywix. I'm sorry, I can't. I really can't. This is like Welsh to me. Yeah. Get status. Branch is up to date with Origin Master. That's good. I like this. I like everything that is said here. Okay, you've just saved me. Thank you. Halywix. I think I got it right that time, and I'm going to try again. But thank you. You'll get a shout out on YouTube when I finally upload Stream 7. Anyway, let's get back to actual work. Here's the thing. I tried doing 720p output to Twitch, and I had people complain, which boggles my mind because it's code. You're reading letters on a screen at lower resolution for something this small. You would think would be helpful when blown up, but no. People are saying no. You need to have 1080. Like it makes it cleaner or something, or crisper, because I guess stretching 720 to 1080. I mean, the only other alternative to satisfy both ends would be 420, and that's a bit small for my modern taste. So I'm stuck with 1080. 60 frames, like 900p. But why? What do you mean 900p though? I don't get it. Are you subtracting out the sidebar? Is that it? What the? I don't even understand that format. Is that like a giant square? Is that 4:3? Right. Okay, well, oh, it's literally 16:9. Yeah, I'm not trying to do math right now. I've got a computer for that. Don't judge me. It's such a weird format for me to see, right? My real screen, the screen that I'm doing all this stuff in right now is 1440p. Obviously, 16:9. So what I'm doing is I've specifically got this instance of Notepad++ that's locally installed into my Google Drive, so that wherever I take it, it's always the exact same size when it pops up. So it's perfectly framed for the stream, and I never change the size because I'm afraid I'm going to screw something up. So I'm actually giving you a crop version of what's on my screen that happens to be exactly half the width of my screen. So then when I want to do something like this, I can just... okay, well, I'm waiting for the stream to update, but... Wait, why am I delaying? Anyway, so when I do something like this and I drag one window on the screen, when I just do the window snap half full screen thing, you see everything I'm looking at. And then I go back to the right, and then you got the code again. But yeah, what am I doing tonight? I should be, like, we're 20 minutes into the stream, and I should be working on coding as opposed to documentation and version controlling. So what did I promise? Timing, basic collision, and physics. That is a tall order. Why did I say that? What was I thinking? Okay. Based on my very short conversation with XL2 earlier this week, something inside of ZT Tools gives you a pretty flat-out straight count of how many milliseconds is in a frame, which is exactly what we want. I still don't understand freaking 1600 by 900. I have no idea where you can buy a screen like that. I guess it's such a weird number to me. I'm just judgmental like that. I'm sorry. So somewhere in here, I guess, yeah. No, I got my fancy Korean, 1440p when I was like, I'm too poor to afford 4K, but this is nice. Here's the thing. I got, sorry. Yeah. I don't even know the brand. It's Qnix. That's my brand. I'm not endorsed by them. I wish I was. I could use some money for this stream. But yeah, it was like a $300 screen like 4 years ago, and it still freaking works, so, Good quality Korean engineering. Anyway, as far as my output's concerned, I'm constantly working with That's It Guys, who's also associated with Ask Yusuf, who you'll see in my follows. He's another coding channel. We're pretty, like, I basically go to Shane and sometimes Yusuf for all of my audio-visual needs whenever I have a question. And I'm basically following their standards. And their standards, if you go to the That's It Guys on YouTube, they have a pretty high-quality videos, tutorials, and technical stuff. And the production quality is pretty much, you know, good. It's good production quality. And I just follow their standards, and it hasn't really gone bad for me. So I'm just trusting them. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. So all this stuff gets pushed to YouTube. I want to have a record of everything, really. Like, I want to be able to say, if I eventually finish this game, not only did I finish this game, but you can see everything I did and all the mistakes I made on the way to finishing this game. So, yeah, this is all getting pushed to YouTube, and everything on YouTube's 1080 now. Let's see. So anyway, what I'm doing right now is I'm going through XL2's ZT tools, as in Z-Stream tools, and one of these guys will give me some sort of time variable. I don't know if it's going to be a constantly updated variable, or if it's going to be a function with a return statement. Def frame rate. Here's the thing. I have a feeling that I was a Twitch partner. I wish. No, what I need to get, I need to get more average viewers. Like, more average viewers, and I need to have more time to myself to stream. Like, right now I try to stream every Friday, and that's basically just slightly too not often enough for Twitch. They want you to stream like 8 times a month or something like that, and also have like an average of a few viewers, like more than a handful, and get a Brazilian views or something, and eventually they offer you something. I just figure if I stick around long enough, I'll get a big enough audience, but the important thing is that I'm working on the game. Because if I'm here, I'm forced to work on the game, and I'm forced to talk about my problems to give a minor amount of entertainment value. And by doing that, it actually helps speed up the process of me figuring out why I'm screwing stuff up. Okay. As much as I love Crush 40, I cannot do lyrics while I'm coding. I'm sorry. At least not... See, there we go again. PSO, stop that. There we go. Trick Track. Everyone loves Trick Track. Yeah, what I'm doing is, the first time I went off script with a non-Sega, like non-first-party Sega soundtrack or any sort of music in the background, YouTube claimed my first stream, and I'm trying to avoid that. So I am strict only Sega-produced stuff because they just don't care. Aaron Weber will not go after you for putting music on your stream. Yeah. So I have requests for, like, I'm trying to avoid putting Genesis level music on there because not everyone's gonna want to go with the, you know, the tinny's the wrong word, but, you know, like, definitely low bitrate, low fidelity sound. Even though it sounds good on the Genesis when you're playing, as a background music, it's kind of the limit of what you want to listen to. So I've got, like, Dreamcast quality stuff. Maybe if I'll find some Saturn sound, you know, it would be more appropriate for me to get Saturn soundtracks on here. So I probably should upload Panzer Dragoon into my shortlist or something. Somewhere in here is a timer. I should probably play... I have played very few Saturn games, which is... I'm basically a poser for the Saturn. Most of my exposure was going directly from Genesis for a large majority of my life to the Dreamcast, and sticking with the Dreamcast for a very longer than I should have. Yeah. But also, the Saturn is stupid expensive to play, and the emulators were never there for it, so the only thing I've played on the Saturn is Sonic 3D Blast, which is, you know, I like the game, it has a fantastic soundtrack, which for some reason isn't in my background music. I should fix that. People hate it for reasons I don't agree with, but whatever. Let's go in the header files. Yeah, I'm really banking on Professor Abrasive. I'm on his Patreon on top tier donation support to try and get that Sadiator out into the market, because I think Like, it's nice to have a mod chip and the pseudo Saturn and having your action replay rebooted and stuff like that. But if something you can literally just plug in with no technical expertise and play the entire library on an SD card, that is the barrier for like casual people. Because right now the Saturn is entirely a hobbyist machine because either you're spending a stupid amount of money on it. It's not like a Super Nintendo or an N64 where you can just walk into a play and trade, buy it, and go home and actually like enjoy the library because, you know, you can afford a copy of Yoshi Story. That's like $20. You try to get a copy of Panzer Dragoon Saga and you're basically buying a PS4. Yeah, also you got to burn disc. If you have the Sadiator, once it comes out, you get one SD card. It doesn't even need to be that big. The US Saturn library will fit entirely on a 128 gigabyte SD card, and that's if you really love Madden. If you drop all the football games, it's like half that size. Yeah, actually, the chipped Saturns and PS1s are stupid expensive. If you I can't recall off the top of my head the price of a Saturn, but a PS1, if you try to buy a chip version, I've seen it go for $400. Because, you know, it's copy protected and it's not like an easy way of breaking besides, you know. Yeah. So the thing is, my entire focus, yeah, definitely prices have raised. When I got my Saturn, like a little more than a decade ago, Shane was there. He can remember the story from That's It, guys. I spent $40 on it, and it was like all busted up on the outside, but it's in perfect working condition otherwise. And I just bought a bunch of accessories and a handful of games. But every time I bought a game for it, it was some like no-name mech shooter or something like that, which, you know, played fine, but otherwise wasn't like a mainline title of you have to play this. It wasn't like, I never got Burning Rangers, I never got any of the Panzer Dragoons until Shane sold me one copy of it. I never beat it because it's too freaking hard. This might be something. Nope, not quite. I do have Mech Warrior 2, I think. No, I have Gun Griffin. Crap, no I don't. I have another Mech Warrior for the Xbox. Like, the Xbox Uno, not the one, but like the first one. I don't know what to call the original Xbox anymore. But no, I definitely have been meaning to get... What I really want to get? Yeah, I know. It's good, but like I said, it's a no-name kind of thing where it's like, you see it and you've never heard the name before, but you see the box art and it's like, okay, sell me like I'm 6 years old, because I literally have no method of judging your merit. And, you know... I really want to try out something called Steel Battalion. It's on the Xbox, and it has an accessory where it's like a $200 or $300 full-on mech control panel. And it's like comically expensive to get into, but apparently it's like the best mech shooter simulator you could ever get. Yeah, I know. I didn't have an Xbox until recently, like the original Xbox. And I've been meaning to mod it. I've already modded my PS2. I've got all the stuff I need to mod the Dreamcast. I'm just too lazy to do it. Really? I've heard nothing but fantastic things about it. It's supposed to be like a Gundam simulator in terms of like the fidelity of how much you can do with it. Like the Windows Flight Simulator of mech suits. Okay, somewhere in here. Okay, that was common. Load model. There we go. ZT Tools. I need the ZT Tools H. Oh, where's my... Let's go back in Seniriu. Load model H. ZT Tools H. I'm sure it's in here. No, it's not. What the crap? Did I miss it while I was BSing with you guys? I think that might have happened. I don't know. Go Rad counter, which I'm not interested in anytime soon. HET, I'm familiar with that somewhat. A little bit familiar, not familiar. Definitely not familiar. So load model, ZT Tools. I can't... Okay, we can try Joe Get Ticks again. Just to see if it works. But I am... Because I asked him about it, and he shrugged it off as if it was like a trivial thing. Like he said, oh yeah, it's in there. And I thought it was in here. What I might end up having to do, where do I have it? I know I have another, I have an FPS collision demo. My god, there's so much stuff in here. But if I look into his main thing, this is XL2's code right now. Where like he's got a first-person shooter collision demo, where it's like it's actually working. It's supposed to be nice, but when I try to run it, it doesn't work. I think it's my emulator. I don't know. Holy crap! He's using. This looks. Wow. Okay. I thought because the way XL2 does things, he breaks a lot of functionality in Joe Engine because he doesn't use callbacks. He uses a main loop enforced by while equal 1. You know. So I'm surprised that Joe Audio Play CD track has a function works, because a lot of stuff doesn't work, including Joe Time or Joe Get Ticks, which is exactly what I need. I'm not doing any physics while I can't count time, because otherwise things will just get out of control. Update physics, that's interesting. Collision handling, update positions. So that means somewhere in here, someone is keeping track of time. So this is probably an include statement, so let's try collision. Let me just open all the header files, and one of these is going to be it. Oh, he's got his own loading hell. Oh, that's neat. Okay, so let's go ahead and just say it's probably not in VDB2. Weapons. It's probably not in weapons. Yeah, it's pretty obviously not in weapons. Okay, well, yeah. I still have to take apart parts of the code to see why things break and why things don't break. We looked on the last stream on Joe Engine's implementation of the time counter, the get ticks function, and it is incomprehensible because he's referencing parts of the memory that aren't even mapped. So Ponut was there, so he can tell you, like, it's Joe's doing something, he knows what he's doing, and we don't. That's my conclusion that I drew from the last stream. Okay. Collision is in air, is moving, aspiring, vertical angle increment. Speed. He's predefining this, so does player not have... Maybe it's under collisions. Let me check loading first. Yeah, it's probably not under loading. I'd be surprised if it were. Binary map. Okay, PSO episode 3, you're losing me. Next song. Oh, PSU actually has something listable. That's different. Range map. Okay, definitely not in loading. Enemies. Empty. I guess this is just here for the sake of it. Okay, Mesh total. Vector 3. Oh, he's redefining a vector, but it's already enumerated in SGL. And he's using it. SGL is present in the code. I don't know why he has to remake the vector. Let me see. Draw. It's not in display. Okay, that's not surprising. Why does display have a vector? Never mind. Never mind. I don't care anymore. Yeah, I get. He's been doing this a lot longer than me. So there's stuff in here that I can say, yeah, this doesn't make sense to me. And my first reaction is to say he knows better. But also, I don't know when this was made. So, Pona, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe some of this is old enough to the point it's deprecated. I don't know. But the point is, we just want to see how he's grabbing the time. Slope arcs and handle grids. Collision handling. You know what I think is going on? I think he's doing physics time to the frame rate. I think the frame rate is defining his timestamp here. So the time between frames is defined as 1/60. If I'm guessing what he's doing right. I'm digging deeper into the code for the collision code to see what he's doing. There's a bump map thing. Mask collision. I figure collision would have a time component to it. Just do projections of velocities and whatnot. Y plus Y speed. Okay, I think his Y speed is just a per frame increment. So it's not an actual speed, it's a delta X, with the delta T implied by the frame rate. Based on what I'm looking at here, which I'm only loosely interpreting. He's got a hurt check. Okay, no. Okay, those just... Okay, this is actual game logic. I don't care about that right now. He's printing out values. What I might have to do is I might just have to create a timer that's tied to the frame rate, which I hate having to do that. But if that's all I got, that's all I got. That means if the game slows down or speeds up, physics will get screwy along with it. But I mean, I guess there's worse things to do. But until we get access to, like, the way you're supposed to keep track of time, whatever the chip that handles the input has also got, I think it was like an exactly 1 megahertz clock, so the arithmetic was easy for that. But no, let's do that then. Like, if we can't find an easy way of doing time, let's make time. No pun intended. Oh yeah, I already checked this. Okay, so back to my code. We're back here. Okay, so let's look at my make file. Oh yeah, I'm including freaking everything. I'm gonna include I guess I'm gonna have to include a timer .c, and that means I'm making a new timer header. And a new timer, whatchamacallit, source file, c.c. For now, let's not include any of these things, because I don't think it's even going to come up. Well, let me save this. Timer.h. Okay, there we go. So all this stuff can go away. And all this stuff can go away. What can we do? We can create an old tick and a new tick. Just call it tick. Tick and old tick. And we can define it as... I know. So there's going to be a frame time. So let's do a fixed frame time which equals 2 fixed. Am I doing that right? 2 fixed? It's only been a week and I'm already forgetting stuff. I don't need to initialize here. I need to initialize elsewhere. So I'm going to do a frame time. Constants. Variables. Let me just call them variables. That's what they are. Frame time. And that's going to be that. And then I'm going to have an integer for frame. So I can keep track of frames, and I'll multiply through by frame time. And that will give me a timer, and I'll just have to reset the frame and frame time every time I enter a new instance. And this thing will also have to... Let me see. How big is an integer in the Sega Saturn? 16-bit, right? Is that what we're working with, or is it 32? Here's my calculator. There we go. Int is 32. Fantastic. So max int is what? Oh, I should have kept that open. I was probably going to use it later anyway. So max int 32. Oh, that's huge. So it's going to be like 2 billion. So 2 billion in 2 billion. That's Wolfram. So basically, it's 2 to the 31, right? So 2 to the 31 divide by 60. No, yeah, 60 frames per second. That's what I'm going for. And then that will give me that many seconds. Divide by 60 gives me that many minutes. Divide by 60 gives me that many hours. And divide by 24 means we can leave the game on for... over a year. We can leave the game on for over a year without having to worry about rollover problems. So I think we're good. Okay, so frame time will start at 0, and then we'll just increment 1 time per frame. So that'll be frame. That's gonna be void. Next frame. Void. I'll do that. Okay, just as a quick reminder to myself, when I want to be able to access something from somewhere else, I think I need to use the external key. Yeah, that looks right. Just add that to everyone, just for safety's sake, because, you know, who needs protection? Not me. Alright. I'm okay with this. Okay, then let's make a copy. Copy as what? Timer.c. And we no longer need this stuff, and we no longer need this stuff, but we do need an include. Includes? Why is includes? Timer.h. Alright, okay. Yeah, okay, I'm okay with that. And frame time is going to be equal to 2 fixed. Let's real quick. Wolfram. Or, no, I can just use this calculator. 1 divided by 60. Okay, so I can get how many significant digits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and make that one 7. All right, I'm okay with that. Or, to make this strictly what the Saturn believes, 60.0, there's a division function for fixed integers. Let me just get it in here, if only so that I can quickly see and say, oh yeah, that's how you do that. Sonic Heroes. Not terrible. Where is my reference guide for how to use... there we go. Go engine, documentation. Oh, there we go. SGL developers reference. There's a square root function, and then there's how do you? Oh, division. SL div. Freaking shortened names. Okay, so b divided by a is a comma b. Okay, that makes sense, sort of, I guess. Whoa, not that. I forgot. I can't copy off this document. SL div fx. SL div fx. So this divide, or this is the divisor. This is the numerator. There we go. There's my frame time. Yeah, well, you know, just whatever. I just think the mathematical way to write it is b over a, which favors b first, but what do I know? I only have a degree in the stuff. Okay, frame. Initialize to 0. And next frame should be simple. Okay, let's start this out by saying these are functions, and this increments frame count by 1. Okay. So I'm going to be counting frame time in terms of seconds, which means I get to keep everything in SI, which works great for me, but everyone else is probably used to milliseconds. So just watch out for that if you're looking this on your own reference. You probably shouldn't at this point. I mean, if in the far future, when this stream is in like the double or triple digits, I would not copy anything that I'm doing right now. This is probably just for historical purposes of whatever. Assuming I'm even doing this a year or two from now. Okay, so next frame. So what we're just doing frame plus equal 1. Simple as that. Return. And we're just going to call that every frame. And that way, we've got a timer now. It's a timer based on the frame rate, which is terrible, just in general, but it's a timer. So where are we going to put that? Handle frames. Or time. Just time. So the thing about this is, though, frame time. I'm going to be able to count to 32,000 seconds or so, which is plenty. Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine there. Oh, I should probably save this as a C. Huh. Yes. Yes, I want to replace it. So then where's my .h? Did I screw it up? Probably screwed it up. Okay, where are you at? Okay. Nope, it's still there. Didn't do any saves. And this is as it is. Leave those guys alone for now. Where is my make file? I should be in here. There we are. Okay, there's just a bunch of stuff now. Oh, that's why, because there's a bunch of stuff now. Let me get rid of ZT tools, because I'm not changing any code there, so if I need it, I'll look it up. Timer.c, yeah. Alright. So, let's do, print orientation. Okay, there's a print statement somewhere in here. There you are. Display model. Draw. No, that's not it. Where's my print statement? Okay. Here's one in me. Oh, input! Why is it an input? Oh, because I didn't want to have to deal with this crap. Okay, I guess, whatever. That means input has to include the timer. Great. So that's in here. And over here. Okay, so, where is my... There we go. Is there a zero print statement? Zero line print statement? Because this starts at 1. So what's in my 0? Is it like something stupid? Like number of objects. Okay, yeah, I guess it is something stupid like number of objects. I can get away with moving everything down 1 and just saying time. You know, like Sonic the Hedgehog. 2. Okay. 3, 4, 5. Come on, man. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add an actual game time. So game time. There we go. So game. Did I do this right? Yep. Okay. It's game time, and that's just gonna start at to fixed 0.0. An equal sign. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do game time is equal to frame times. Oh, I need to do S. No, wait, do I? Yeah, I probably do. I probably need to do SL multiply. Let's go back to this guy. Oh, okay, well, I was there. Before I close this out. I'm assuming that's right. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay. Just checking on my old comment. Ignore that. So I need to multiply two fixed numbers, or one fixed number and one integer, which I assume I can do over here. Which I'm probably going to end up having to convert the integer to a fixed number and then do the multiply. It's probably something like ML fix or something. Oh, it's not? Is it mul fix? Yep, there we go. SL mul fix. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing this song. Oh, Grandia 2. I wonder if Trekkies comes into chat. Maybe we can chat about Grandia for a bit. Wait a minute, this isn't Grandia 2. This is a remix version of Phantasy Star with the same name for the song. Whatever. I'm okay with it. I think this is from the PS2 remix version that was like never brought to the US because Sega of Japan hates us. My god, I'm just all over the place today. Okay, we got a timer now, so we can print the timer via game time. Alright? Right. Okay. Get the game time. And we're going to our print statement over the input because that's where it is for some reason. Oh, yeah, here we go. Timer. Okay, so just get that in there. Time. This can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. One. Okay, so we've added a timer, right? So let's see if that works. Oh boy. From the top. Syntax error before framed. Seriously? Okay. It's literally declaration. How could I have made a syntax error? Type defaults to int. This is not the first time I've declared a fixed. I did the same exact crap over here. What's going on? Frame time, game time, frame time, game time. Are the variables too long? I don't think the variables are too long. I think this is a perfectly reasonable number of letters. What is that? 9 characters? Syntax error. What else could it be? If not define. Right? Yeah, okay. That works. External fixed name semicolon. External fixed name semicolon. It works. It should work. Is it because I put external here? Is that it? Should I not have done that? I probably should not have done that. In fact, I definitely should not have done that. feel like this is a mistake I keep making. Try again. Let me get OBS over and over here so I can just switch over. Seriously? Syntax error before frame time. It's affixed. What do you want from me? Get off my back, Mom. Okay, I'm literally just gonna copy this over and see if it gives me the same crap. Okay. Same crap here, alright? So let me just delete all this over there. So nothing has changed. And this. I don't get it. I really, really don't. Huh. Okay, let's keep going down the errors. Okay. Syntax error before game time. Okay, sorry, Crash 40. No. Oh, it's instrumental. Let's keep it in. Cool. Initializer element is not constant on line 12. What? Oh. What? Ay. Okay. What is going on? I need to include Joe Engine so that I have fix to play with. Why did I not think of that? Okay, well, I mean, I like the exactness of this, and I feel like I should also have a variable that says, oh, define the frame time. So what I'm going to do, actually, let me make a function that says void define frame rate and have an integer of FPS as an argument, and then I can just straight up define it. Sets frame time to frame rate. So at the very least, what I can do is I can, if the game absolutely has to change frame rate, I can intelligently change the physics to match. So frame time can be initialized as two fixed. Okay, fine, I'll call it that. But also, two fixed FPS divided by 1. Alright, and this will just be simply 0. Well, to be used proper rounding, it'd be 0.0167. Let's go ahead and shove this over into the header as well. Also, I need to include the freaking Joe engine, because there's nowhere it doesn't go. You solve that problem, and I will literally, like, buy you something on Amazon or whatever. Something cheap. Well, you kind of want a single number per update so that you can make sure that the physics match up for all objects being iterated over. But it's really nice to know that the Saturn jumped a few milliseconds that time. Let's compensate for it so that in real time it still feels real. Because the hardware is never going to be perfect. But also things slow down. Okay. So, the first thing we want to do is define the frame rate. So we're going to do that in the introductory function of main here. So where do we set frame rate? Frame rate of run 1 equals 60. Okay. Set frame time. And we're going to actually do it an intelligent way. We're going to do 60 divided by frame rate. Free arm rate. There we go. And now I can switch that number. That resets the definition of the frame rate. And then when I do the time update over nya, and then the print statement over nya, everything will be reflected properly. So let's try this. Freaking Sigwin, you can't leave me alone. Okay. To be honest, I do not like this version of Green Hill, even though Jun Senoi was on it. So, that's off. That's better. Okay, try again. Oh, there we go. Ugh. Timer, what are you doing? Gram time. Yep. Yep, that's what I figured. Fram time. Where'd you show up? Frame time? Frame time? Ram time. Freaking typos. Are we in? Looks like no, we're not. This doesn't even look like a real problem. What's going on? This SL Mult FX. Okay, I see what happened there. Where are you? Where are you? It's Mul FX, not Mult. Oh, shoot. There. Yeah, I don't need that extra space. Save. Run. Typos all over the freaking... There we go. Now we got it. Finally, we get to the part where I actually test out the game. Only an hour into the stream. Hey, look at that. It's the time in seconds. And it's counting up. And it will count up to 32,000, which, let's ask Wolfram. What's that? 32,000 is 2 to the... First off. 16 or something like that? 15. Yeah, there we go. So 2 to the 15 divided by 60 seconds per minute, 60 minutes per hour, 24 hours per day. When do I run out? Significantly shorter time, but still, you know, whatever. A third of a day. You'd have to leave the console on at the same level for a third of a day without me having to reset it, and I'm sure I can compensate for that somehow. Okay, what? I mean, I'm glad you just made everything I did useless, but what? Go on, Ponut. The audience wants to hear from you. Guys, I'm having a weird thing where the Twitch stream doesn't seem to be updating. Okay, there we go. It was something on my end. Okay, I was just monitoring it weird. Okay. Anyway, back to what Ponut is saying, which is infinitely more important. Okay, poke FRC high, add that volume plus equals to an int, and divide that int by a fixed 250. Oh, this is tiny. 255. Okay, first off, where is FRC high? 8-bit register of the SMPC that will increment up to 255 on a millisecond basis. Okay, so you have so what Ponut's sending me? Oh crap! Drop the controller. What Ponut is sending me? Oh, there's a chair. Neat. Now that I have a timer, I need to freaking put a delay on the inputs. You're gonna have to explain to me what a volatile type is, because I am very unfamiliar. Let's ask the Googles. So, move aside, Wolfram. Volatile integer. No touchy. The value of the variable may change at any time without any action being taken by the code. I can't even spell volatile. Oof. Alright, so the compiler normally is optimizing stuff, and this specifically says, yeah, keep away, because this thing is freaking crazy. You don't want any part of it. You don't want any part of this, Ricky Bobby. Okay, I get it. I'm gonna straight up steal this code, you know that, right? So, 4 times 0, 4 times plus equal MCU frequency high, and MCU frequency high was a... Things I don't understand... Okay, that's the pointer. So you're defining the pointer to a volatile 8-bit integer, unsigned, which is a small number, 255. Yeah, okay. So every time it counts up to 255, that's 1 millisecond? Is that how that works? Okay, I will find out. Let's find out together. I like that. I like this attitude. Let's go with it. Let's just comment out all the crap that I did before, because screw it. So, there we go. So here's what we're going to do. We know we have to pull... so let me make some functions. I got to pull... what's me call it? MCU frequency high. So let me call void pull high freq void. And what that'll do is that's going to update that little increment that you defined for me there. Also, we're going to have this volatile over here. Just going to be a little memory address. We're just going to keep it in the family, so we're no externals. Make your function and register the interrupt as... I'm not sure I understand you. What is the purpose of SL int function? Register function be executed during blanking. Okay, so it times the function for when it's supposed to go off. So when I execute the function, am I executing it inside of my main loop over here via something like this? So I'm going to comment this out. And I want SL int function, and that's going to be pull underscore high freq. Say that right? Yeah, that sounds right. I don't need to define anything over here. Okay, I got my volatile. I got, what do I want? Oh, I need a frame time. Inside Joe main. So this is essentially adding a callback, right? Add time polling callback. So we're essentially adding a callback on the SGL level. to figure out what this high frequency counter is doing, counting up to 255 and then rolling back to 1 because it's unsigned, or rolling back to 0, sorry. And then we're just going to add whatever number we find at the time to a running total of that number divided by 256 as a fixed, and that will give us our number possibly in milliseconds. So I will probably want to divide it by 256 times 10 to the 3, which is not an option. So I'm going to have to multiply, divide, what am I doing? It's going from 0 to 255, but we're counting in units of 256. So when it rolls over to the next one, it will be at 256, correct? So, now I got to think about that, because it'll roll over to 0. So in the theoretical case where we keep hitting 0 over and over and over again, we're not going to see any time change. I know it never gets to 256, but I'm talking about for when we're tracking time in terms of milliseconds. So 255 will be like just before your time increment, which we're assuming is a millisecond. Meaning, wait a minute. We know the frame, or sorry, not the frame. We know that this specific chip runs at 1 megahertz, right? So 1 divided by 1 megahertz, presumably that's the clock speed of this chip. How often is it going? Microsecond. So maybe it's counting 255 microseconds at a time. I don't know. I honestly don't know anymore. Yeah, but I mean, on the order of seconds is what we want anyway. But what ends up happening is it's going to cycle between 0 and 255 for 1 unit of time. Let's call it a second for now. Which means 1 second will equal 256 units added to it. The problem is, because it's rolling over back to a smaller number, I don't think the approach that you've written down, Pona, is going to work. So we're gonna be able to poll it. We're gonna get a number back. But if we try to, are you serious? Because I'm seeing a loophole here where it's like we poll it and we get a smaller number from it, and or say we get 0, and then if we get a 0 back from it, time won't increment, and it'll look like time just stopped. And if we accidentally keep getting 0 over and over again, okay, I'll trust you. Okay, let's get this thing. We don't need to define it here. We need to define it over. Oh, that's right. We gotta comment out freaking everything. Okay, so we got that guy. Whole high frequency is gonna be coming once a frame or so, or once every V blank. Get high frequency count from chip and translate to, we're assuming seconds for now. I'm just gonna have you have time as an integer. Is there a reason for that? Alright, whatever. Let's do this. So we're gonna have a fixed, fixed timer equal to 0. Let me go ahead and put that over here too. And that's going to try to count the time in seconds for now. let's 2 fixed 0.0. So polling high frequency numbers. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cast as 0. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Or not cast as 0. Cast as. Well, essentially, we're getting the value from the pointer. Let's get the value from the pointer. That's gonna be a plus equals. And this is an integer, so I need to SL. Oh, if we're assuming this is in units of 256, so 2 fixed, this, and this is going to be divided by 2 fixed. Fixed 256.0. It's going to be SL div fx. Oh wow, it's suggested, so it sees it. And it's going to be our timer. Now I assume plus equals should work with a fix without throwing me like freaking errors or complaining or whatever. So my print statement should be well, instead of timer, let's just call it time. Time. Save. Time. Save. And our print. Where is our print? There. Let's call it time. You don't need to set the frame rate right now. We're adding the full high frequency as a callback. Okay, so as written, it should probably work. Oh, let's switch over to Mednafen. Come on. That sounds like a bad idea. I thought we're never supposed to use floats when we can help it. These feel like seconds. And honestly, I think this shouldn't work, but it somehow does. I like that it works. I like that it's on chip level. Wow. Okay. So what I need to do is add an additional update that gets... I mean, yeah, this is down to the freaking... I can't tell how many digits I'm getting. It looks like I'm getting 6 digits, and that makes no sense to me. Because fixed aren't even supposed to support that, right? I literally just took what you wrote. This is what you wrote. I don't know what you're talking about. Here, let's go back to the code. But yeah, we got a timer, and it's pulling the chip, which means we got real time. So we can actually do some physics. Okay. So look at this. So we have a timer. That's a fixed number, okay? And the fix can go up to 32,000, which means we can leave this on for a few hours, and it won't roll over. Yeah, I don't even... Wow. I don't get it, but whatever. Anyway, the point is, we have the timer. It's fixed. It starts at 0. We need an old time. Old time. So old time should equal time, and then time will be updated by this polling. And this polling is literally just grabbing whatever's there. That can't be real. I don't get it. So is it... It's taking this volatile 8-bit integer and turning it into a fixed, and somehow it's magically make... I didn't even do division... Oh, I did. Okay, that's what this is. So I'm dividing out by 256, and it's getting out seconds. Or at least schmeckens, which is close enough. Well, I'm happy with this. We got time. So, congrats to Ponut for figuring it out and me for stealing his idea. Yeah, I don't even need this set frame rate crap anymore. So, what's next? I don't need a last create frame, I need a last create time. Right, I get that part. I get that, we're essentially, we're just grabbing an integer from someplace. I'm dividing it by 256, because that's the units of apparently seconds on this counter. Is, you know, close enough. I wish it was an even division of like 60 or 100 or something like that, but obviously binary don't do that. Let's try fixed. And that's going to be 2 fixed. So 2 fixed, fine. Well, I don't need a 2 fixed here. I'm going to make a fixed, static fixed. Create delay. That's going to be 2 fixed. How many schmeckens do I want? Like, 0.2 schmeckens between creations, maybe a quarter of a schmecken. Delay. Okay, so that means in my input function, I'm not. Oh crap! No. No, I need to move these over to here. My input also has a creation, or sorry, input delay, or repeat input delay. Input delay, and then last input. So any non-directional button presses, I guess, should be put through a filter that handles these guys. So I'll split that up. Oh, well, I need to move this over here. Where are you guys? And then these guys can just cancel out this way and this way. They're getting cleared here. I don't even know. I don't think static's the right word. Yeah, I don't need static for this one. I'll keep it as extern just in case. And non-static here. What even was that? My mouse is doing all crazy stuff today. Timer. No longer good here. That's gone. Timer's included now. That's nice. Okay, so where do we actually handle input? There we go. There we go. So, pull for gamepad. That's what this first line's doing. So, D-pad, and that's just going to be these guys. It's not just D-pad, it's directional stuff. So it's up, down, left, right, and L and R. Right? Okay, and then we have our actual inputs, which were button presses. And these require delays. So if if time minus time minus delay time. No, wait. If time is greater than where's my what do we have? Last input time. Let me just call this last input for short, because I have a feeling long names are going to start being disagreeable. You give my game compiler a tummy ache. So last input has a time. Where are you? There you are. If time is greater than last... Seriously. Copy. Paste. There we go. Last input plus... Delay time, delay time, delay time, delay time, delay time. Yeah, input delay. There we go. Then we can start figuring out... Oh, Z and C are still directional. I should move that over. Go. These guys can be shoved up. Right up there. There we go. R, Z and C. Okay. That means every, what, quarter of a second, if I press something, something should happen. Also, where's my creation destruction sensitivity? I should probably fix that. Interaction target distance. What even is this music? What is going on? What was that? PSU bringing the garbage again. This is not that much better. Yeah. Most of the stuff from Sonic Adventure is really good. I don't know what this is, but I'm into it. Okay. So, what are we trying to do? We're trying to find out what, before I do anything, closest object, target to fixed, target distance. That is not what target distance is for. We need a separate parameter for target sensitivity. And this is going to be distance from target to include, to allow for interaction. And that's going to be much more strict. I'm going to call it like 10. Put that over here underneath target distance. Stern. Let's add that same comment over so we just know what we're doing here. Okay, now that I think about it, 10 might be pushed. Okay, let's call it 25. Let's compromise. And that means destruction happens within tarsens of where the target is. How so? Okay. I just caught this comment from Ponent. Every emulator is a little bit finicky in what works with it and what doesn't, and none of them are 100% accurate. I use Mendefend because it basically plays any actual Saturn game that I've ever given it, and the only problems that are with it is it appears to be slightly faster than it should be. Which normally wouldn't be a terrible thing. Like, I think we saw this once on the stream where it was displaying 62.5 frames per second when I was still using Joe Engine callbacks to time it, as opposed to 60 frames per second. I've just figured, you know, close enough. Yeah. And Yabos, I've never had a good experience with Yabos in terms of integrity, and apparently the timer is not consistent on it, compared to, apparently, Mendefend, which is the only other thing I've used for this thing. I know there's other emulators that people use. People swear by SSL, I believe, and that's supposed to be also a high-fidelity emulator, but I think it has its own problems. Common advice that I've heard is essentially use multiple emulators to double-check, and obviously, if you have access to hardware is the best test. Yeah, Opponent doesn't like SSF either, and I prefer Mendefend. It just works for me. Like, I can deal with a slight time inaccuracy by, like... What's the actual percentage I measured? 2.5 out of freaking 60. Oh, crap, I can't type tonight. Yeah, so it's 4% off on time, but you know what? Whatever. I was under the impression that SSF was high fidelity. Because it seemed to be like the go-to testing platform from what I saw that wasn't, oh, there's another one, I forget what it was. Yeah. Basically, all I've ever used that wasn't Yabos, I went directly from Yabos to Mendefend because I looked for, like, the closest hardware-level emulation I could get. Whereas, like, it's literally emulating every part of the processor, I believe. That's how I understand it. Okay. Of course something broke. What happened? Input C. 30. Input delay. Huh. Which is kind of like a more extreme inverse problem of what Mendefend does, which Mendefend is supposed to be stupid accurate, but also it's slightly too fast. And I think it might be too fast based on the hardware. Like, I'm testing it on this thing, and my computer is, you know, a decent computer. It was top of the line a few years ago, and now it's pretty decent. It's got a 1070 in it, along with, you know, a high-end processor and a buttload of RAM. i7 something or another. I forget which generation. But I guess SSF is just, I don't even know what BizHawk is. It's the first I'm hearing of it. Oh, I guess it's like a fork of Mendefend. Thing is, Mendefend, I've thrown like all the problem games that other emulators couldn't handle. Here's the thing: Mendefend is also a multi-system emulator. It's just not specifically built for speedrunning, but it's the freaking the racing games didn't work on Yabos. Sonic R didn't work on Yabos. Sonic Jam didn't work on Yabos. I think the only thing that worked on Yabos, if I'm even pronouncing it right, was like Panzer Dragoon Saga, and even that was a little bit in terms of glitchiness. Yabos also didn't do Panzer... No, not Panzer. I think it did Panzer right. It didn't do Burning Rangers right. It didn't display the fire, which is like the worst thing to not be able to handle in Burning Rangers, because you need to see where the fire is, because you're a firefighter. Yeah. But you can see why I use Mendefend on here, because I literally press the button, it compiles, and as soon as it's done compiling, Mendefend just pops up, and it's like magic. It's super quick. So... I don't know. I don't know if my computer is like comically fast, or if it's just that you guys are programming on laptops or something, which makes more sense because you can be more comfortable on a laptop. I'm sitting at an IKEA desk. Okay, let's try this again because I forgot what the error said, but it's definitely something stupid. So we have car sense is not, but it's there. How did I fix this last time? Because I remember fixing it. We're including Joe engine, right? Joe.Joe. Or Joe.H. Which means the fixed problem that's the problem before is not the problem now. Line 30. Oh, case sensitivity. Whoops. I'm dumb. Yeah. And create delay is not input delay. Yeah, that was me being lazy. Oh, I thought that was a problem I had, because when I tried loading Yabos and there was no boot screen, I thought there was like something in the flag of that batch file that I used for testing to say, oh, don't just skip it. I was looking for a flag in the documentation saying, hey, how do I turn this off? I want to see the boot screen. And apparently it just skips it because it feels like it. See, I don't mind the boot screen. I like the boot screen. I like the music. I like the fact that it's starting up, because that's what I'm meant to see. That. I'm sure when I'm getting deeper into testing and I really just want to get straight to the point with incremental changes, I will get sick of it and move on to Yabos for like rough testing. But for now, I think Mendefend works. Oh my goodness, what did I do this time? Input C, line 31. What's your problem? I feel like all that's right. Initializer element is not constant. Is that a requirement? My god, okay. Let's just freaking hard code it. -1. This is freaking ridiculous. Come on, man. Yeah, I get what you're saying. 88. What's 88? Line 88. Line 88? Did I screw something up on line? Is that an 88? That looks like an 80 to me. No, that's an 88. Line 88, I screwed something up. What is it? Syntax error before that? Is there, though? Doesn't look like one. Oh! Okay. Whatever. Warnings. I ignore warnings. Warnings are never right, because as soon as you fix the actual errors, they go away. And if they don't, then you're probably just a sloppy coder. Sigwin, stop being such a freaking killjoy. I don't like that. Because in normal C and like literally every other language that I know of, you can just declare things. Okay, maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but I remember being able to just declare stuff. This timer feels fast. Stupid fast. Did I break something? That's very fast. That's... No. Something's wrong. Did I screw up the frame? No, the frame rate looks right. So 1 means 60 frames a second. My schmeckens are too fast. Let's see. 1 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 1... I think... I feel like the frame rate has changed somehow. Just by me changing some input stuff. I don't understand how that worked. Maybe I need to blank the print statement somehow. I think... No, that doesn't make sense, because the... Well, first, let me do that to begin with. Did I change something? Because the timer, it should be basically the same. Still dividing out in 256. Do I need to add a 0 to that for some reason now, when before it wasn't a problem? Okay, I've heard enough Green Hill Zone for the rest of my life. I don't need more of it. That's better. So yeah, I got a timer, and I'm dividing out by 256, and that was working before. And then on my main function, we have sync constant 1, leads to 1 frame per second, frame rate 1, or sorry, leads to 60 frames per second. Frame rate 1 matches at 60 frames per second, so that's what we should be doing. It's tenths of seconds and not full seconds. Thing is, it was seconds before, and if I fix it now, I feel like I'm going to unfix it later when I change something else that should not be related. What did I change in the timer? There's time and there's old time, and is old time is not included here. That's a problem. So let's start with that. So I definitely changed something, but what did I change? Old time is equal to time. That should just work. All right? Yeah. Okay. And time should be incremented by this number. Okay, so should I just fix it by doing this? And just adding that 0 there? Well, let me try. Better to try than ask. Okay. It still feels fast. 1 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi. So let me count off 10 seconds. Starting... Just looking at the timer. Now is 64. And then in 10 seconds, I expect it to be 74, but we're already past that. What are we at? 94? So in 10 seconds, we've passed 30 seconds, which means the frame rate sounds like it's wrong. That or I need to, What did I do? You saw it. Dude, you're on the stream. You can see what I'm doing. I didn't freaking... I'm calling the timer function. It's right... Oh, okay, sorry. Let me notepad over. Yeah, the timer function is right over nya. Okay, and pull high frequency, what it does is it adds the timer the same way as before. I added a 0 to it to try and slow it down. That wasn't enough. I need to multiply this number by freaking 30 now, or... So 10 seconds turned to 30. I need to multiply this by 3. And I'm going to let the computer do math for me because I'm lazy. 7680. I shouldn't have to do this. This doesn't make sense. So yeah, pull high frequency is my timer function, and that gets called via this SL callback every V blank. Oh, let's try this timer. Like, we got some magic numbers here to try and turn this into proper schmeckins. But I don't like the fact that I have to change that number away from 256, because 256 was supposed to work. Nine, 10, 11... Okay, these feel like seconds now, but what's the frame rate? Because the frame rate's supposed to be 60. I'm pretty sure it's not 60 now. I don't have a good way of checking. Also, I didn't finish implementing the destruction timer because I didn't add in the timer element of it. I've got seconds now, but that's with a magic number. Like, I multiplied by 30. I multiplied 256 by 30 to get where these schmeckins are accurately seconds. What's up with that? Because this frame rate... Okay, so let's try changing the frame rate to 30. See if the schmeckins are still there. Still schmeckins, so it's not even the frame rate. Am I actually calling the frame rate correctly? Am I setting the frame rate right? Like, did I delete a function somehow that I wasn't supposed to? I feel like I'm missing a function here. So I got sync constant, I got frame rate, but I don't feel like they're being called by anything here. And maybe they should be. Let me go back in my backup code and just real quick see what's in the main loop. This is my old main file. These are the same. Still don't understand this, but it lets me print the screen, so whatever. Get in. It's the same. The same. This is here, this. Okay, and the sync. I don't think okay, so let's see how many times... This should only have been called once. So yeah, it's defined in timer.h and, or initialized, okay, I'm mixing up terminology here. Initialized, sort of, in .h, and then actually defined in C, and called one time in main. So, the time is incrementing according to MCU high frequency. Oh, let me add a little comment here. Pointer to MCU high frequency. Update timer found by, yeah, Ponut 64. So yeah, this is the only time that time is allowed to actually change is nya. And the input function, which I am adding, it's comparing time, but it's not changing time. What it will be doing though, let me just add this in here, is add creation timer filter. Okay, set last input time, and that means last input is equal to time. That was the thing I was trying to implement here to stop me from making. Oh, okay. So okay, let me change that attribution there. Found by Johannes Fetz, contributed by Ponut 64. There we go. I just want to attribute as much as I need to. I'm probably spelling that wrong. Why is this here? Why is that? Every time I try to fix that. Let me get my... Is my copyright... Yeah, my copyright notice has still got freaking Johannes' name on it. I just copied the boilerplate structure of it. I'll fix that later. Whoops. Okay, so in the game loop, I have... Okay, let's go down to the game loop. SL sync. So it's there. And then, sync constant. There. Let's go back to 60 frames, because I have a boner for 60 frames. Okay. It stays. Now that we've proved that this kind of basically more or less works, I hate that this number is freaking magic number. So, let me just add the comment. So, 768 is equal to 30 correction factor times 256 uint 8 number. Range. But it's that, so it's documented. So if someone needs to know why that is, it's right here. Well, not why, but what to do at least. I really don't need any of this anymore, I guess. So that can all go. Which means I can probably delete the other commented out blocks of code too, because they're no longer worth anything. Okay. So let's see if I can get the actual input delay to work the way I want. Defend, come on. Keep forgetting to switch over on OBS. 1. There we go. Just 1. Now just 2. 3. Now just 3. I feel like the delay is a bit aggressive and it could be smaller. Let me try to delete this guy. Why can't I delete him? And the target sensitivity is definitely too aggressive. There we go. 1. Why can't I delete? I haven't moved. Okay, so that's not the problem. passing through. Target sensitivity needs to go... I don't think the timer is a problem with the delay. I think... because the creation delay feels fine. I could probably tweak it a little bit, but that's not my problem with it. So I can... So what's my creation delay right now? Just the input delay in general. Quarter of a second. Let's go with tenth of a second. That feels fair. The problem is the target sensitivity. 25 on this scale is too small. It needs to be probably 50. 50 might be a bit small. I think I'm going to try 100 and see how loose that feels. Okay, okay, so tenth of a second is a bit much. I'm gonna roll back to fifth of a second, and then, but trying to delete these guys, I feel like I'm not even in the right place. What's going on? Whoa, how did that happen? Okay, come on. Did one. Okay. Target sensitivity needs to go up. That it needs to be less sensitive. More inclusive, I guess. Oh, crap, I forgot to switch over to MetaPen. My bad. I just want to improve the feel of this just a little bit before I move on to the next thing. So, target sensitivity 250. Input delay 0.2. And this is the last test before I move on to something else. Go. 3, 4, 5, 6. One button press. That. Now let's try to delete something. Whoa. Okay, so I pressed Z, and then I let go. And then, as I move, it's activating. So it feels like when I press down Z, then it decides to start deleting stuff, and then... See, I didn't even press Z that time. So, something's wrong. So I'm not filtering my input correctly somehow. Maybe it's, the if statement is not being... Let's see. I mean, this should just work. So this should only work when B key is being pressed down. And wait, I'm pressing X key. So what's up with that? What does X key do? These guys are being destroyed. I wasn't even pressing the right key for this. I don't get it. What does X key even do anything? I haven't set X to input to anything. So we define it, and then we use it only here. Right here. Now let's try it again. Freaking kidding. Come on, Sigmund, stop it. Okay, this music is a bit much. It's just overwhelming. What's going on with this? PSU, that's why. Okay, whatever. Back into the game. So... Okay. Hey, there we go. So I press B. There we go. But then why, when I press X, does that... It disappears! I press X. So I'm not pressing B at all and things are disappearing. That's not a good thing. Because the code should not be triggering on X. Nothing should be triggering on X. X shouldn't do anything. Did I map the controller wrong somehow? Okay. Creating a field. If I press X, what happens when I just move around? Stuff is already disappearing. Just from... I'm not even pressing any buttons besides directional. And things are disappearing. Why are things disappearing? See, now pressing B gets rid of the stuff in the way that I expect. But for some reason, stuff just disappears without me doing any sort of real button pressing. Just like that. That was just me moving around and things are disappearing and I don't know why. If I can't get past object permanence, I'll never make it out of my toddler stage. What is going on? Why is that chair dark wood? So for the record, I'm not pressing the B button at all, so that the B button is the only way I should be able to destroy these chairs. And right now I'm just moving around and things are just disappearing. For no reason. Okay. So, these things are being destroyed. And they're being destroyed via what? Destroy object, right? And destroy object is only being called on this input line and nowhere else. And it should only be triggered if B is pressed and nothing else is pressed. Am I? Target sensitivity is too high. I'm gonna lower it. Separate note. But I need objects to stay put if I'm gonna... Well, not stay put, but stay in existence if I'm gonna implement physics next. We have a game object, and we have an array of game objects. And if I want to destroy an object, as long as there's more than one object to destroy, I will clone the object I'm going to destroy. Oh, sorry, no. I will clone the very last object in the list that still exists into the current slot, and then reduce the number of objects by 1, and that will, in turn, cause the number of things to be rendered to be reduced by 1, and so the last object, which was just cloned into that current position, is now gone. That's working as intended, or at least it should be working as intended. The logic hasn't changed there. So, closest ID, well, if within threshold... Okay, so the threshold is designed by threshold, which gets fixed to max distance. And as long as the distance never exceeds the max distance, then closest ID will remain as -1, and if closest ID returns -1, then we go back to our destroy object. Wait, was that destroy object? There's no check here for if the ID is -1. I feel like that is a glaring hole in the logic of this thing. So what happens when we try to clone object from memory location -1 to... What? Huh. I'm not even sure if this is the right problem. But I'm gonna fix this. By saying, you know... Check for... No, wait. If clone object should... Where's clone object? Number of objects -1. So somehow we are calling... what even is this? Bounding box collision. Oh, okay, we'll keep that in there. I think what's happening is we're somehow calling closest object. Or destroy object? Point is, destroy object is getting called, and it's not getting called correctly. So... Return if nonsensical ID. If ID greater than or equal to num object. What's or? This guy? That looks like or. Or ID less than 0. Then return. And don't do this stuff. This is going to be clone and replace. Decrement num object. Let's see if that fixed it. If this line will be the line that fixes it, if anything fixes it. Sigwin, I swear. Here's an object. Create a bunch of these guys. Okay, I got 32 chairs. I feel like the frame rate hasn't suffered yet. Maybe it's starting to suffer, I'm not sure. There, I pressed B button to get rid of one of the chairs. Let me see if X still does. X still does stuff! What is going on? I think I mapped the controls wrong in Mednifin. I think that's it. But, okay, so let me let go. No, freaking things are still disappearing. That wasn't the problem. Why are things still disappearing? I'm not pressing any destruction button. Okay, let me actually destroy stuff intentionally. Okay, still can't get a... I should probably put like a floating ball of where the target actually is. But now, just floating around, things are destroying on their own. Despite the fact that I don't want them to. Yeah, and that was... Those last 10 were just me not pressing the destruction button. B is the only button that should do that, and it's not doing it. Oof. Okay. Why is the number of objects actually being decremented? Because that's what's being reported. So maybe I need to track that now. Oh boy. So create object will increment it. That makes sense. We use it for comparison. Or this. Or can I keep just, you know, num object less than or equal to 0. And then this can just be an else. It might be bad binding, but the thing with that is... Actually, that's probably the only realistic explanation, now that I think about it. Yeah, you're right. Let me see if I can just rebind all the keys and reset or something like that. I remember how to do that. Oh boy, I broke something again. Num objects. Okay, that was just me being sloppy. Where are you at? Yep, that's a C. Else, all the stuff should work otherwise. Okay, what is it? F1, F2, Control F1, Control F2, Alt F2? How's this work? Come on, where how do I keybind? Come on, man. Alright, let's look it up on the side. Mednuffin bind controller input. Alt F1, that sounds logical. Not doing anything. Hit F1 for help. There we are. One of the options. F2, configure command key. No, that's not it. Shift F2. No. Alt Shift. Alt Shift 1? Alt Shift 1. Digital gamepad up. Okay. Up. Down. Left. Right. Start. A. B. C. X. Y. Z. Left shoulder. Right shoulder. Alright. Maybe that did it. Digital gamepad up. Down. Why is that doing it again? Left. Right. Start. A. B. C. X. Y. Z. Left. Right. Okay. For some reason, when I was pressing it the first time, I think it needed to get past the boot screen or something for it to happen. Let me just make a bunch of chairs again. And then press the X button and see if that starts triggering a whole bunch of freaking, weird stuff happening. Okay. I'm moving around in this environment. Nothing's disappearing quite yet. I press X. And nothing is disappearing yet. I press B. One thing, two things. There we go. Okay, I'm okay with this behavior. I do need to create just like a sprite. I need to blit a sprite on the screen. It shows where my pointer is in relation to everything else. To be honest, guys, I'm so happy with the timer, and I'm actually kind of tired from a long week at work that I think I'm going to cut it off here early. I know I promised physics, but physics is actually super involving and requires not only the time, which took the majority of today, but also keeping track of a bunch of stuff, and then basic collision. I've been talking with Ponit about collision stuff for a while, and once I settle on something that I like and I think will work, which I think I'm almost there, I will try to implement it live on air on an extra long stream. Like an all-day event kind of thing, like a 12-hour Saturday stream or whatever. Yeah, I know. Like, it's already 10 o'clock, and I'm on the kind of schedule where at midnight I'm already ready to, like, collapse, and I know if I get started on collisions now, things are just not going to end well. Like, maybe I can get a chair to fall down in gravity, but that's not really... There's no point in that anyway, because... essentially, like in the game that the kind of game that I'm working on, I'm not even sure if gravity is going to be a factor. As opposed to just like dungeon crawling, where like maybe there's a jump button, but all the objects you're interacting with are not that interactive. But Okay, yeah. So Ponut's got actually made a lot of headway in terms of collisions and slopes and stuff. You go over to his YouTube channel. Pona, you can go ahead and drop it up in chat, and I'll eventually put it in the description when I upload this file. He's got some stuff where he's got his little pony going around and climbing on slopes and stuff, and it looks like it's making sense, and the camera's not freaking out anymore, which is nice. So we're kind of working on semi-different problems in parallel and collaborating a lot in terms of sharing code. So a lot of the stuff that you see from me is actually me just talking to him during the week and stealing his ideas. There we go. So if you guys want to check out Smokey Dops on my YouTube channel, if you're watching this on YouTube, he's one of the recommended channels on the right, I believe, and if he's not, he will be when this is uploaded. I'd have to check. Let me double check that. Yeah, who are my recommended channels? My god, the YouTube interface is garbage. I can't see anything. What's going on here? So I recommend Gay Hunt, Johannes Vets, XL2, and Retro RGB. Retro RGB is just there because I like their cables. But yeah, I'll fix that. Smokey Dops is going to be on there too because he's been contributing a lot of code to the project. So, Pona, when I talk to you in private, I've got some ideas that I need to formulate into like an actual spreadsheet well, not a spreadsheet, but like an actual document with illustrations to see what's going on. But I have some ideas on collisions that probably within the next 3 or 4 streams are probably going to end up being implemented. Next time I get a free full-on day where I can just do nothing but code, that's probably when it's going to happen. But for now, guys, thank you for joining me. We are basically back where we started on stream 2 or 3 or something, but now with arbitrary objects because we're dealing with a slightly different code base. We're dealing with the Z-Stream tools, and because some functionality broke with Joe Engine, we've gone deeper into the hardware with SGL. So I still feel like we're successful here. We've got our own timer function, and we're going to end up tying physics to it very soon. Creation instruction works just like I did before. The chair is the chair, and I need to make some more assets and rescale everything to 1, as discussed in last stream, so that we can kind of make sense of the units when I do implement physics. Because right now, if I were to try to do physics, everything is set to scale 14, so I'd have to augment gravity and everything else related to it by 14, spring functions by 14, to try and get it to make sense and look physical. So I'm gonna have to make some new assets and resize things. I'm gonna have to make some boxes and maybe potentially make a spring or something just to do demos. But what I'll do is, depending on what kind of progress I make during the week, next weekend, maybe we'll do some basic gravity and put in some new models. But yeah, I'm off to bed, or whatever I do before bed, probably more PlayStation stuff. I'll see you guys next week.